Welcome to Triathlon Scotland's third workshop. I'm going to be taking your turbo session today. I'll give you a bit more detail during the warm-up of what we're going to do. But yeah, if you can just start off with a nice, easy 3 minutes pedaling, probably a 3 out of 10 effort. So I've got a few things I'll have to run through in this first few minutes. So I'll do that now to get those out of the way. So this session's for over 18s only. By participating, you're doing it at your own risk. Please make sure you have a suitable space, so your bike's not going to get caught, or your pedals aren't going to get caught on anything while you're pedaling. Make sure your bike's working, it's not going to fall off the turbo, or if you're on an exercise bike, it's not going to topple over. Try and have a drink, a couple of bottles of water if possible, so you can have throughout the session. I've been drinking one already, so a bit of an early start. If you can, have a fan or beside a window or a door, so you can get some air in when you get hot. Also, working at your own level, I don't want you going too hard. It's always quite hard first thing in the morning to make hard efforts. This session's not max, so you should be fine. Also, if you've got any health conditions, injuries, then yeah, if it's going to affect you, then don't take part either. You can still watch, or you can do it at a later date. If you feel unwell during it, just stop. So yeah, that's the main points we have to run through at the start. So the warm-up's going to be a gradual warm-up over 10 minutes. So we're just in a very easy 3 minutes to begin with. Then every minute after that, we're going to ramp up, get a little bit harder until we get to about an 8 out of 10. Also in the 9th minute, we're going to do a couple of 30-second sprints, 6-second sprints actually, sorry, just to get open the legs up. Then we'll go into the main session, which is going to be based on cadence, but also a bit of sweet spot. So we're going to be just below and just above race pace for 10-minute blocks. But during that 10 minutes, we're going to be varying the cadence. So for those that have cadence meter, we can do it to numbers. If not, we'll do it, we'll say slow cadence, normal cadence, and fast cadence. You can probably see I'll move the camera down slightly. You can see the speed of my legs. If you can just copy that, even if you've got no way of indicating. So yeah, I'll give you more detail and I'll keep you right when we get to that point in time. So I'll also touch in the first rest period on why I picked this session for you today. So we've got another 20 seconds. Then we're going to lift it up ever so slightly. I'm not used to hard morning bike sessions. If I do anything early in the morning, it's normally for a run. I do have some children get ready for school in the background. I'm just hoping they leave me in peace. So yeah, if they do come in, I'll try and make them stay quiet. Yeah, a good way of ramping up the warm-up, rather than speeding up your cadence, is just change up through the gears. So each minute, change into a slightly harder gear. So that's one of the smaller sprockets on the back. Yeah, the warm-up, just do whatever leg speed you feel comfortable or what's normal for you. Everyone has their own preference. So let's change up the another gear a little bit faster, harder. The minutes always tick by quicker if you're changing every minute or two. So yeah, this is probably a good time. For those that don't know me, I've been over the last, must be 4 or 5 years, I've been doing work for Triathlon Scotland, more on the bike side of things, specialising in the bike from across all their programmes. So I also work with a Scottish cycling endurance coach. I've had years of experience from youth athletes right up to Olympic level athletes. So yeah, right across the board. So these times have changed what we do. We do a lot online now. I've not done many calls, I guess, where I've ridden with groups, but so yeah, if I get things wrong, bear with me. So yeah, it's another minute. If I click a little bit harder. That's just over halfway through the warm-up. So another 5 seconds and we'll get harder again. So 2, 1, okay. Lift up again a little bit. Yeah, my own background in cycling. I raced professionally for 11 years, including 3 Commonwealth Games, World Championships. So I was on the road and the velodrome. So yeah, I've learned a lot of experience with that before I went into coaching. So we have 3.5 minutes to start the main set. So I'll go for anyone that arrived late. I'll touch on the main session again. So yeah, obviously we're doing the warm-up now. Then we're going to go into 10-minute blocks. So the first 5 minutes, it's going to be just below your threshold or race pace. Then the second 5 minutes is going to be just above it. But during those 5-minute blocks, we're going to do the first 2 minutes at around 70 RPM. So that's slow cadence. 1 minute at 90, then 2 minutes, really as fast as you can go, but above, ideally above 105. So yeah, that's quite tough. Then we'll go back and repeat again for the second block of 5 minutes. Then we'll have 5 minutes of just normal easy pedaling. Repeat that again, 5 minutes easy pedaling, and then just 1 5-minute block to finish. So I hope that makes sense. I'll keep you right as we go through. If I can remember to. Yeah, hopefully time will tick by quickly when we're doing it. So another 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1. It's a little bit quicker. So now we're going to do 2 6-second sprints. So we'll do those in this minute. So just ramp it up for 6 seconds. So we'll go in 3, 2, 1. Okay, 6 seconds hard. Okay, back to the same left what you're at before. We'll do one more of those. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, easy again. So an easy minute now before we start the main set. So yeah, grab a drink. I have to make sure I don't ride too hard so I can still speak. So we're going to be starting in 25 seconds. So that's 2 minutes at 70 RPM at just below race pace or just below threshold pace. So those, yeah, for those that maybe don't know what RPM is, that's the speed you turn your legs at. So 70 times in 1 minute. Starting in 3, 2, 1, go. I turn it down so the speed that I'm pedaling at if you don't know. So the aim for anyone that has power or even heart rate is to keep that steady across the effort. So even though we're changing the cadence, the effort you're putting in the pedals should still be the same. That's 1 minute of that. We'll keep going, stay for another minute of this. So another 20 seconds. Ten more seconds. Then we're going to change to 90 RPM, but keeping the same effort. That effort is just below your race pace. 2, 1, get. So 1 minute of this one. Again, you should be able to see top of my legs up and down. So I'm riding at 90 RPM, so copy that if you don't have a meter. This is halfway through. So the next block, same effort again, but fast, works as fast as you can pedal, so above 105 RPM. 10 seconds. 5, 3, 2, 1, get. Fast pedaling. Even if this time you can only go to 100, if you practice this session and get up to 110, 115, that'd be ideal. You may find the high cadence hard or the low cadence hard, but if it's the same effort, then wherever you're struggling most is somewhere that'd be good for you to practice. So 1 more minute. Then we're going to go back to the 2 minutes. A slow cadence, but a little bit harder effort, so just above race pace. Another 30 seconds. 10. On that last 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. So back to slow cadence, so 70 RPM, but with a harder effort than the first time around. Just ever so slightly, just above your threshold or race pace. Again, yeah, those that don't have cadence meter, if you just try to copy the speed I'm pedaling it. So yeah, we're 2 minutes and 2 minutes again, then 1, then 2. So 1 more minute. So 30 seconds. This should be starting to feel a bit harder now. Ten seconds, last 10 seconds, then we're back to 90 RPM, so more in normal pedaling. 2, 1, get a little bit quicker. Again, just above race pace though, so it should start to feel quite hard. 3 minutes left for we have a recovery. .30 seconds, then we're back to the really fast pedaling. Again, trying to keep that effort feeling the same. So 10 seconds. 5, 2, 1, again, fast pedaling. So up over 105 if possible. Last 2 minutes, then we can have a 5-minute breather. Oh, you're doing great, just over 1 minute to go. That's it, final minute. Should be feeling quite tough now. .30 seconds. Last 15 seconds, 1. 10, 5, 2, 1. Okay, nice and easy. 5 minutes, nice and easy. I'll have to get my breath back to chat a bit more. Again, try and grab a drink in this 5-minute recovery. A little stretch if you need one. It's always good to have a towel as well when you're on the turbo. Mistake I've made too early in the morning, not used to turboing. But yeah, if you can have a towel handy, it's always good. Yeah, try and keep the pedals turning. So yeah, we're just going to repeat that same block again after 5 minutes rest. Yeah, so one of the reasons I've picked this session today, obviously apart from it being very early in the morning, I didn't want to do maximum efforts this time of year as well. So I decided this one because a lot of people ride turbo, but they just sit, if they're doing a threshold effort, at one cadence. Then when they go back on the road's obviously changing all the time, up and down. You're not always changing gears to sit, or you don't get perfect gear. So if you can hold that same power right across your cadence range, you'll be much more efficient when you get back on the road. And you'll find little hills and little changes in gradient, no problem. So that was the reason for this. This is good for any type of triathlon. So drafting, non-drafting, the roads are always changing. There's one thing I've noticed when I've been coaching, a lot of riders that do a lot of turbo, they tend to just ride at their own comfortable cadence. Then when they go out on the road, they struggle if things change. Even gusts of wind can affect you. So yeah, if you do this session again, you can obviously watch the video while you're doing it again. But you can progress by, once you get better, making the effort harder. So anyone with power will be able to monitor, then be able to lift the power. Same, lift your heart rate, or you can add another block on to make each block longer. But yeah, I wouldn't progress too quickly. I'd do a couple of sessions a week, max of this for a few weeks, and then start adding things on if you want to progress it. You'll notice gains in your threshold and your efficiency cadences. So yeah, definitely a worthwhile session. Even myself as a rider, I should do a fair bit of this in the winter. So I've got another minute and a half, then we'll get back into it. So yeah, make sure you've had a drink, have another drink before we start. So we'll be starting back with the 70 RPM again, 2 minutes, just below race pace, or just below threshold. You can also do this session out on the road as well. It doesn't have to be on the turbo. I guess the weather, snow's all gone. I think it was snowing when Ferg did his last week. Wind and rain, but I think forecast for the rest of the week's nice and sunny. So yeah, you'll be able to get back out on the road soon. So we have another 40 seconds. 30. So let's get ready, 10 seconds to go. Another 10 minutes of focus coming up. 3, 2, 1. So 70 RPM, just below threshold race pace. Again, for anyone that's not sure about cadence, just try and copy the speed my legs are going at. So I have 1 more minute. Feels tougher this time round already. So if you guys are feeling it harder this time, that's normal. Set 2. That's the reason I've cut set 3 to only 1 block. Another 30 seconds. Ten, 5, 2, 1. So back to 90 RPM. Again, we're still below threshold. So yeah, just 1 minute of this, so another 30 seconds. So 10 more seconds. It's good, and then we're into the fast cadence again, so 105 plus. 3. Okay, faster pedaling. You're doing good. Just over a minute to go. That's 1 minute. And we'll be back to the slow cadence again, but just above race pace. Final 30 seconds. Keep your pedaling efficiency at this cadence. So final 10 seconds, and we'll be dropping back down to 70. 3, 2, 1, okay. So yeah, just above rest pace again. Once you do the session a few times, you'll get a hang of what gear is good for which effort. It always feels super slow when you go from the fast one. But yeah, the aim is to try and keep the effort the same though. Just halfway through this first 70 RPM one. Should be starting to burn a bit now. So 30 seconds. So back to 90 RPM shortly. So another 15 seconds. 5, 2, 1. Get a little bit quicker, same effort though, just above race pace. Thirty seconds more. So last 2 minutes of this block coming up. So I'll be back to the fast cadence in 10 seconds. You should find this last 2 minutes pretty tough. Again, it's not maximum, but fatigue will be building up. So 2, 1, okay, fast cadence. Come on, final minute and a half. Another rest. Last minute. One final minute, push on. Forty seconds. Final 15 seconds. We've got 5 minutes easy. Well needed. 5, 2, 1. Okay, and relax. Try and keep the legs pedaling, but nice and easy. Grab a drink. Stretch if you need to sit up. One good thing about a turbo, you sit up and stretch quite easily. So yeah, we've got one final 5-minute block. So for anyone that's finding it maybe not easy, but quite comfortable, they can choose to do their 5 minutes above race pace, above threshold. If anyone's getting tired, then yeah, they do the 5 minutes just below. So I'm going to go for the just below option, mainly because I have to speak as well. But yeah, anyone feel free to make your own choice in this last little bit. Well, we'll be doing the same thing, but you just pick your effort. So yeah, it's another adaptation. So if someone's finding, I don't know, say the slow cadence quite comfortable, but the high cadence pretty difficult, then you could adapt the session, make it just 1 minute at the slow cadence, 2 in the middle, and 2 at fast at the end, or you could go 3 fast at the end. You can play a bit at the time to fit your weakness. That's another good way of mixing it up. I know when I used to do it, I used to struggle with the low cadence stuff. So I spent a fair bit of time down doing that until I brought that back up so it all felt quite even. Hope that makes sense. That's almost halfway through our recovery already. So I should have been chucking some questions in, like Joe Wicks asking you capital of somewhere. Give me the answer at the end. Maybe next podcast. So we have 2 minutes left before we start again. Remember, make sure you've had a drink. So yeah, final 5 minutes of effort coming up, and then we'll have 5 minutes just easy pedaling again at the end. One more minute. You may also find for the same effort, your heart rate's getting higher in each block. That could be due either getting tired or you'll be getting hotter and hotter. It's a good idea if you're doing a lot on the turbo to have a fan in front of you. I would normally have a fan, but I've kept it off today so you can hear me. So 30 seconds to go. We'll get into our last 5 minutes. So remember, make your choice. So 10 seconds. So the last 5 minutes of work coming up. 5, 2, 1, okay, 70 RPM. Yeah, so for those of you who have gone for the just below race pace, maybe next time you do a session, you can go for just above, or you could do that final set as a 10-minute block. Coming up to halfway through the first minute. Again, the more you do it, you get used to how 70 RPM feels, or 90 or over 105. Even those that have cadence meters will probably not even have to look at it, you just know how it feels. So 30 seconds before we start going at 90 RPM. So 10 more seconds. 2, 1, okay, back to 90. This is coming to halfway through this interval, so only 2.5 minutes to go. Ten more seconds. 3, 2, 1, yeah, final 2 minutes, high cadence. You can finish this off. Always nice to finish on the fast cadence. Man, you're doing great. 1 more minute to go. One final minute. Let's push on. Keep those legs spinning fast. Well, nearly there. Final 30 seconds. Ten seconds to go. 5, 2, 1, and relax. Well done. So yeah, we'll just finish now with 5 minutes, nice and easy pedaling. Let your heart rate drop back down. Keep drinking for the next, well, throughout the day really, but yeah, it's important to get hydrated again. You'd have sweated a fair bit out there. Yeah, I'd just like to thank everyone that's made it along this morning, or anyone that watches this at a later date. Hope you enjoyed the session. There's a few ideas in there how to progress things or adapt it to suit your own needs. So we'll have future sessions coming up. Next week, strength and conditioning by Fiona Murray. That's also on Wednesday. We've got some swim band workouts coming up, mobility injury prevention. So again, yeah, you can watch all the previous ones again on the Facebook page or YouTube channel. So yeah, pick which ones you want to do. Do them as many times as you want. Yeah, so we'll just have a nice, nice cool down, just gradually letting your heart drop back down. Always good to have a few minutes nice and easy at the end rather than jumping straight off. So hopefully you've learned something about yourself today. For a similar effort, if you struggle more with the fast cadence or low cadence, so something for you to go away and work on. So 3 more minutes. You'll notice a difference then when you go outside on even just little tiny rolling roads. You'll go over it without even noticing. So yeah, we'll do another just over 2 minutes, nice and easy. Then it'll be breakfast time. Yeah, I'm not a fan of doing early morning workouts, but once I've done them, it feels quite nice. Another minute and a half, and then that'll be us finished. So yeah, it'll be a link on the Triathlon Scotland Facebook page for anyone that wants to see it again. So final minute. Yeah, you can gradually get nice and easy, ready for getting off in 40 seconds. Yeah, just like to say thanks again for everyone that's made it along this morning. Hope you enjoyed the workout. Have a nice rest of the day.